Hello YouTube, this is an alcohol review of Iwai Mars Whisky. Actually a Japanese whiskey. According to the label, 40% alcohol by volume, making it 80 proof, 750ml bottle. Nothing really interesting on the back, besides government warning. Imported through California, obviously, product of Japan. Mars Whisky Iwai. Interesting about this particular bottle is that there's a mountain range across the bottom. What appears to be a mountain range or a cloud range across the top. Why is this interesting, you may say? This is, if you follow along, this is the third Japanese whiskey I've tried on review. And the bottles are very simplistic. This, with the across the bottom as you can see, across the top as you can see, makes it the most complex bottle, even with a simple label. The most complex packaging I have seen yet on any of the, sadly, only three Japanese whiskeys I've tried. Screw top. Interesting that they use a European heraldry. Let's see that. The rampant lion and a woodpecker on what appears to be a trident with a star. How strange. I mean, it's nice paper that they used. Raised kanji. Or is the paper actually raised and the kanji's lowered? How strange. Oh well. But there was also another that was on the shelf of my local booze store of Iwai Mars Whisky, and it was $10 more. I'm kind of curious why. I did look on the internet and didn't see much or find much. The alcohol is about the same between the two. This is the lighter shade of the two, so I'm presuming one is aged longer, but there's nothing marked here on aging. And when I went looking through on the old interwebs, which has to be true, they cannot publish anything false on the interweb. There was no real comparison between the two that I was able to find. It was not exactly an extensive search, so hopefully it is out there, or somebody out there knows why there's a good $10, $12 difference. I would presume it's either due to aging or increase in alcohol by volume. Alcohol by volume is the same, so I presume it's by age. But when the age isn't written down, hard to confirm. Alright, in our Glencairn, we have what appears to be a very light yellow, typical standard Japanese whiskey shade. Or a swirl here. And it takes forever to start to start to cry, tear, whatever you want to call it. But it takes its time, a slow, long, sweet time. Now that predicts it should be a heavy mouthfeel and very sweet. What's making it thick on the side of the glass is latent sugars. So what we're looking at here is a possible thick, heavy on the palate, sweet whiskey. Now, it's very fruity, but you still get a little bit of vanilla in it. A shade of cinnamon. Very light notes that you'd expect in a whiskey, but still, it is very fruity. Now, the other thing that I noticed, unlike, say, the other whiskeys that I've had, you have to let this breathe. As it is, it tends to be a bit bitey and a bit stabby on the palate. Giving you a chance to sit and look around and wonder what's going on tends to calm it down. So enjoy the nose, but don't try sipping it just yet. But we will now. See, ethanol always has a burnt rubber flavor to me. And this 30-40% of the flavor is very burnt rubber. And usually that is hidden in the back of the palate. Or somewhere else. It's an underlier. This isn't. It's side by side, step by step with the rest of the flavors. And its flavors are just fruit. A little bit of vanilla, but all of the spice, as it were, that's in it. You'd expect a lot more being a whiskey, but it's just fruit. I would even say, oh, stone fruit, but no, it's a wide variety of different fruits, including some stone fruit, but mostly like lemons and plums and much lighter fare of fruits. Dare I say pear? But running right along with it, right there, side by side, lockstep, is that burnt tire ethanol. Maybe different on your palate, but for me, it's burnt tire. And is it enough to shy off, shy off from, and give it a thumbs down? Not really, but it's nice to try. I wouldn't exactly hold this up as, oh, this is one of the best whiskeys I've ever tried. I would not even say would be a great way to introduce you to Japanese whiskeys. It's nice. And it's nice to try. It's nice to explore. And that's about as far as I can give it, to be honest. I don't think I wasted the money on this, and it was only upper 20s, low 30s. So if you're looking for a reasonable, cheap end, reasonably type whiskey, its price tag is good, but it's that ethanol that kills it for me. Maybe not for you. Give it a try. See what you think. Any comments about this down below? Be warmly accepted. As always, this Iwai Japanese whiskey. Warmly accepted, as always. Or better yet, go out, buy it, try it yourself, and let the rest of us in the YouTube spirits community know your thoughts about Iwai, the lighter fare of the two, and get your thoughts. I'm kind of curious what you guys have to say. Japanese whiskey, in my opinion, is very nice for hot summer days. And this follows into that. Even though it does have that ethanol flavor to it, it's such a light flavor that it goes well for high heat. And at the time of the taping of this particular review, it is awfully hot. And this makes for a wonderful complement evening time for a nice little whiskey. But compared to its brethren, let me know what you think. In the meantime, keep on drinking.